Happy Wednesday, my friends. Happy first month of October, or first day of October. Can't be the first month. Duh. Hey, we all can't be perfect. Got a good show for all of you. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking to Ameren and getting the latest on some of the ways that they're being proactive when it comes to aviation safety. I think that's such an important topic, especially, when it comes to folks with all these drones and Christmas is coming up and, more coming in, the stockings and all that fun stuff. Then at 10:10, and that's why we're talking about it. Then at 10:10, we're going to be talking to Lacy McDonald. She'll take us back 100 years, and it's kind of a precursor, really, to a great conversation coming our way at 10:35. We're going to be talking to Jody and company with Vintage Voices. This is a great thing that the city of Alton does, and for all of you that are maybe from out of the area and want to learn more, this is great. This is where past legends and really past significant figures of the city of Alton and folks that are buried within the Alton Cemetery literally come to life for an afternoon, and it's such a great conversation, a great walking history lesson, and really one you need to be a part of. We'll talk about all of that and more in the next 2 hours, but in the meantime, here's what you need to know at 9:06. Make sure you download that RiverBender.com app today, and you'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000 plus that are in the know each and every day of the work week. And on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you right with positive news first to our friends in East Alton. Listen to this. A local East Alton retail store, the Dairy Fresh in Rosewood, they're buzzing with excitement after selling a $1 million Powerball ticket. There you go. That winning ticket matched all 5 numbers in the Monday, September 29th drawing, and it was sold right there on East Airline Drive. Store owner Brian Patel, he expressed his joy, hoping the winner is a regular customer. This is the largest prize the store has sold since Patel took ownership 6 years ago. Illinois lottery retailers do receive a 1% commission on that winning ticket, earning that store a $10,000 bonus, which Patel plans to use to reward employees and improve the store. Powerball tickets remain available for upcoming drawings, but congratulations to that East Alton individual that won that $1 million. How about that? Also in the news today, as we state regional news first in Jerseyville, the Jerseyville Police Department, they've undergone a significant leadership change with the retirement of Chief Brad Blacorby and the swearing in of Daniel Green as the new police chief. Blacorby, a lifelong Jerseyville resident, served the city for over 30 years, including 21 as the chief, earning deep respect for his dedication and his community service. At a city council meeting on October the 1st, Blacorby expressed gratitude to his fellow officers, the community, and his family before officially stepping down. Daniel Green, an 18-year department veteran and former sergeant, was unanimously appointed as chief, promising continued commitment to community policing. The transition marks a new era, and it also honored Blacorby's lasting legacy. Also in the news today, 2 Madison residents have been charged in interstate meth and fentanyl trafficking operations. Here's what we know. Mario S. Hunt and Vanessa S. Womack, both 44, both from Madison, Illinois, have been charged with trafficking methamphetamine and possessing fentanyl as part of an ongoing interstate drug distribution operation. Authorities allege that on the 27th of July, the pair transported over 15 grams of methamphetamine from Missouri into Illinois for delivery. Womack reportedly admitted to bulk purchasing the drugs in Missouri and occasionally fentanyl sales, while Hunt possessed distribution-ready quantities and admitted to transporting fentanyl pills across state lines. Both were denied pretrial release and remain in custody, with Hunt also facing a warrant for failure to appear in a separate retail theft case. We will keep you updated, though, on this meth and trafficking operation case as it rolls through the court. Also in the news today, Montel Harkins, 26 years of age, has been charged with first-degree murder and armed robbery in connection with a June 5th, 2021 shooting in the death of 27-year-old Caleb Davis in East St. Louis. The Illinois State Police and East St. Louis Police Department conducted a joint investigation that revealed Harkins allegedly attempted to rob Davis at gunpoint, leading to the fatal shooting near 14th Street and Division Avenue. The case presented to the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office on the 29th of September resulted in those formal charges. Harkins is currently in custody in Oklahoma on unrelated charges, and an arrest warrant has been issued for this case. Tense moments in a Belleville East High School with a student taken into custody on the morning of September the 30th yesterday after being found with a firearm at Belleville East High School. The alert came around 10:45 a.m. when another student notified a school resource officer and staff. The student with the weapon quickly isolated, and a search warrant confirmed the presence of that firearm. Authorities stressed that there is no ongoing threat to the students or staff, and the juvenile at the time of the posting of the article, no update yet, remained in custody awaiting court proceedings. Officials did praise the reporting student and highlight that effective cooperation that led to that ensured safety. Also in the news today, Jeffrey Reed, 59, from O'Fallon, has been charged with burglary and theft in Madison County following an incident at the Alton Marina. On May the 25th, Reed allegedly broke into the boat, intending to steal and took several items valued over $500. These included a mini fridge, electric buffing machines, a grinder, batteries, a chair, and a power wash nozzle. The Alton Police Department brought charges against Reed on the 24th, and he has since been released from custody pending trial. Also in the news today, the Illinois Department of Transportation has opened that newly reconstructed interchange at Interstate 270 and Illinois 111 this afternoon, October the 1st, weather permitting. This $25.1 million project finished 20 days early and features a diverging diamond design that significantly improves traffic flow and safety in the Pontoon Beach and Edwardsville Warehouse District. All ramps and lanes are now fully operational, with off-road construction continuing and future traffic updates to be announced. The project, funded by the Illinois Competitive Freight Program, is a broader regional improvement plan, including the ongoing $525 million I-270 Mississippi River Bridge replacement, and we'll keep you updated as more of those projects develop and are underway. Finally, in the news today, Illinois State Police have arrested 42-year-old Jamal L. Wilson of East St. Louis on first-degree murder charge in connection with the fatal stabbing of 38-year-old Shanika Barbie. The incident occurred on September the 27th when officers responded to a homicide in an apartment on the 3200 block of State Street. Barbie was found stabbed inside her home and pronounced deceased at the scene. After an investigation by the Illinois State Police and East St. Louis Police, Wilson was identified as the suspect. He is currently held pending further legal proceedings, and no details additionally have been released at this time. Let's take a look at weather today. Currently right now in the 618 at 67 degrees. It feels like 69 out there. Today, sunny to partly cloudy. It will be very warm by the time the afternoon rolls around. Don't let this morning fool you. Tonight, just partly cloudy. No rain in the forecast, at least until next Tuesday. Right now, air quality, though, it's starting to get up there. It's 68, which is moderate, but the mold count and ragweed counts are up to at moderate levels. So take a Claritin today so you don't sound like me. Temperatures reach 86 degrees today and drop down to 58 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, man, we're hitting close to 90, but I'm still correct. We are not going to hit 90 degrees the next 5 days. Temperatures on Thursday reach 89 and drop down to 61 as we head into Friday. On Friday, sunny skies, a high of 85, a low of 58 degrees. And on Saturday, just like Friday, a high of 85, a low of 57. And on Sunday, well, just like Saturday, sunny skies, a high of 86, a low of 61. That's a look at the next 5 days and the first 5 days of October. Halloween season's here, my friends. And hey, this is something that I've always thought about too. Before, I know, tangent. Send me your Halloween decorations so I can shout you out and give you some love and praise on the show. I mean, we have a lot of people that watch here. You want people to come stop and see your decorations. We get creative in town, and RiverBender.com would love to see them. You can stay up to date in real time all the time when it comes to Riverbender weather by downloading the RiverBender.com app today. That's also where you can stay up to date with your daily dose of everything local, plus with our partnership with the Associated Press, statewide and national news. That's all at the touch of a button. Before we take a quick break, it's 69 degrees in downtown Alton at 9:15. That's what's happening around the Riverbend. Let me fill you in on what RP Lumber's got cooking. I mean, it's that time of the year, and it's October, folks. Time to get some stuff done. The weather next week, I'm going to give you a little bit of an extended, just because we're friends, and I feel like this is very important for the overall sanctity of our friendship here, of our relationship. I'll give you the next 10 days, okay? Here's what they look like. On Wednesday, Temperatures are a high of 73 next Wednesday. We're almost there. We're almost to fall. 73 Thursday, 74 Friday. CJ, why are you giving me the 10-day? Well, here's why. Because you need to get some outside stuff done in your yard before you put up those decorations. Just saying, let's get it done before the weather gets cold, because you said it was too hot to do it in June and July. It can't be too cold now. This is perfect timing. Stop by RP Lumber and you can save big. I mean, we're talking like even things like saving $15 on one of those 5-outlet outdoor power hubs, perfect for Halloween, Christmas, and any holiday decorations. Plus, you're saving big on a 45-piece Apex Vortex bit holder, or save $60 on a push sweeper. That's a tube brush. Those are regularly $200. You're saving $60. Fire pits, you're saving $210 on a 28-inch gas fire pit at RP Lumber. Do you want $210 in savings? I mean, these things normally go for $420, and they're going right now for $209, and that's during the October sale. Plus, you can get a 12.5-foot telescoping aluminum ladder right there at RP Lumber. A $50 RP Lumber gift card awaits you if you buy that compact for easy storage ladder from Werner. And I'm telling you what, they got a ton of great deals on paint brushes and more. You can save big on Milwaukee leaf blowers. Learn more at RiverBender.com. And you can also click on the RP Lumber wallpaper. It'll take you right there to it. It's RiverBender.com/promotions. Don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Take a look at downtown Alton. We should be talking to Ameren. What's happening here? More Daily Show on a Wednesday, the first Wednesday of October, the first day of it. Next. With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sounds like the radio back in 94, you know. Hook the speaker up to my soul. It sounds like the radio. Sounds like a damn good time. Soaking up some neon light. Well, it's a little bit of fiddle and a whole lot of color.
Anyone want to climb up to the top of that Riverbender building and fix the camera? Man, we'll take care of you. I don't know. It seems like we get like 5 seconds and then it goes right back to buffering. We'll figure it out. Hey, wanted to fill you in. It's bonehead mistake number 1 of the day, I think. I don't know. Probably made 15 already. Ameren's coming on at 9:30, not 9:20 today. So let me take care of some little bit of business and fill you in on what's going on. There's some really cool things happening. And just a quick note for you. I wanted to fill you in on this out of Collinsville. So more than 200 guests came together on Thursday. I thought this was a great story. And it was for American Cancer Society's Farm to Table Metro East, presented by the MRHFM. And get this, they raised an just outstanding amount of money, $81,000 to support the fight against cancer. That's incredible. It was held at the Gateway Convention Center in Collinsville. And it was an evening that had some really cool seasonal dishes from over a dozen top local restaurants. There was music, and there was really cool interactive experiences like a wine toss. I'm in on that. Why didn't I know? I had to been there. Key to Recovery Challenge. There was a silent auction and a Reflections of Hope tribute area, which is really, really powerful. Guest also heard from featured speaker Mark Joyner, a firefighter from the Granite City Fire Department, who shared his powerful personal cancer journey and a message of resilience. Farm to Table Metro East raises funds to advance the mission of the American Cancer Society, funding groundbreaking research, advocacy, and patient services to help people facing cancer today. There was a long list of restaurants that participated, but just a few of the area restaurants. I think it's always great to give them praise, like Bella Milano, the 1933 House of Bourbon, Hawaiian Bros, Musali's Prime, Doc's Smokehouse, 1929 Pizza and Wine, The Boarding House, Bakers and Hale, Claraby's Kitchen Table, Nothing Bundt Cakes, Prairie Farms Dairy, Excel Bottling, and Ed's Delicatessen. And, you know, really just great to see all those sponsors coming together, too. Proceeds from Farm to Table Metro East, they directly benefit the American Cancer Society's mission to improve the lives of people with cancer, their families, through prevention, early detection, treatment, and, of course, support. You can learn more about Farm to Table Metro East or ways to get involved in 2026 by visiting acsfarmtotable.com. That's acsfarmtotable.com, and you can learn more. But before we talk to Ameren, I also wanted to fill you in on a really, really cool thing. This is something that Hainer Library has done for quite a few years, and it's really just been successful. This is now in their 4th year, and this has turned into an annual event. The Hainer Public Library District will host their 4th annual local author book fair in December, and they're looking for writers. There's a lot of you around here, and this thing always fills up. 25 booths, and they're filled up fast. This is on December the 6th, the Alton Square Mall. Community members can browse books by local authors and get to know the writing community in the Riverbend. This is really cool. They first had this right outside in their parking lot, and it was full throughout the day. I believe it was in early fall. And with the move to the mall, especially around the holiday season, these are great opportunities to pick up, you know, something for the reader in your life. I mean, really great stocking stuffers, really great gifts, and gifts for yourself. So writers are encouraged, though. They got to reach out to Hainer Library for more information about securing a booth at the festival. Executive Director Mary Cordes is warning that 25 available booths will go quickly. This big one is our local author book fair. This is our 4th year of having this. They will fill up fast. We have spots for 25 local authors, and I already have people who have emailed and called me over the weekend. She told me that on the show, and it's just incredible. Now, the fair runs 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. on December the 6th in the courtyard between the Alton Square Mall Library and JCPenney at the mall. Cordes emphasized that only enough space for 25 authors is there, but they do have a wait list available if folks are still interested and want to make sure if an opportunity is not there for somebody who's already committed, there's a scheduling conflict, maybe you guys can still be a part of it. It's such a great time. The library does provide the table, the chairs, the tablecloth. Authors are encouraged to bring copies of their books and decorate their table however they'd like, and it's just a great chance to support and engage with local authors. The genres vary widely. Last year, they welcomed an author from grade school and a woman who wrote a beautiful book about her father's experience in World War II. I mean, there was just so many of them. Most of the authors will also donate a copy of their book to the library. This is a great component of it. And Corda said the library, she said this on the show, they have an entire section dedicated to local authors, so you can support these writers year-round with your Hainer Library card. For more information about the local author book fair, including how you can sign up as one of the 25 featured writers, you can contact Cordis at 618-433-2877, and you can visit HainerLibrary.org to learn more about their library and to get your free library card. You get access to Biblio Plus, all those great things. Hainer Library is truly a staple in the community, and what they're doing with the library now is just incredible. It's really just evolving into that next level, that next phase of what libraries are going to be known for all across the country. But I'm telling you right now, Hainer's getting there first, and they're taking us on the journey with them. It's been great to tell the story of Hainer the last couple of years. I can't wait to keep telling more of it. But you got to get your library card for free. Unlike all these benefits, seriously, a ton of benefits await you. Learn more, HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. Don't forget to tell them you know who. That's me over here. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it's me, the host, sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Ameren, Illinois, they join us next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I can't spell. It's a Wednesday. Kyle saved me. Brian saved me.
Mm-hmm.
We're back with Ameren Illinois, and great to have you guys in the studio. Kyle, first time on the show, and glad to meet you.
Yep, good to be here.
And take me through your background with Ameren a little bit.
So I've worked at Ameren like 24 years. Started out as a lineman, apprentice lineman up in Macomb, Illinois. Topped out became a journeyman lineman. Moved into Beardstown, a little bit of Jacksonville. Became a supervisor in Pittsfield, and to my current state where I'm superintendent of electric operations, and my office is currently in Beardstown, Illinois. I currently have responsibilities for all the inspection programs in Illinois. Our group is what we call subject matter experts in the avian protection. We do a little bit with drones. My group's in charge of that. Work with the mutual assistance to get us outside resources when we have storms.
Well, and now take me through what that could look like, in the impact of, a storm or impact of a significant weather event, because we are going to talk more about the program, but that is fascinating. Can we dive into that a little bit, what your operation looks like?
Yeah, so basically what we do on the mutual assistance front is, if we have a storm of a magnitude that we don't have enough resources at Ameren, Illinois, and we've tapped out our Ameren, Missouri resources as well. The mutual assistance front, we will reach out to other utilities and solicit whether internal or contractor resources to help supplement our workforce.
Fantastic. And it's good just to know a little bit more about that, Brian, too. And the more, Kyle, we talk about the programs and just get the public a little bit more informed, I think it's a really great thing just to know more about Ameren overall. And as we talk about this avian protection program, what makes it so important, I think, is the first and primary question I have.
Yeah, so I think really it's kind of a twofold approach. But number one, we're being stewards of our environment. Number two, being stewards of our environment because we're trying to do the right thing and not kill birds, eagles, hawks, all the type of bigger raptors. The second thing is by having an avian protection program, when we have a bird that gets electrocuted, that generally will cause an outage. Now, that could be one customer or it could be several customers. Mm-hmm. So by taking that double-sided approach, that number one, we're trying to be stewards of the environment, not kill any birds, not have any electrocutions, but it also reduces outages, which is a direct impact to our customers.
Well, I'm sure it is. And I'm sure also for everybody within Ameren, whenever you have one of those related outages, it could lead to some frustrations just within the crew, because those are one of those things I guess that happen, but you plan on them, but you don't necessarily, because you can't predict when these could occur.
Yeah, that's 100%. We can't read the mind of birds,
right?
So yeah, it is frustrating, and like I said, depending on the impact of where it is, whether it's on our subtransmission line or distribution line, it could be one or two customers, or it could be 1,000 customers. So, by us taking this approach that we're going to build everything avian safe, it really is a direct impact to our customers.
Well, and take me through a little bit of the measures, if we could, and just a little bit of what you guys do overall, when it comes to this.
Yeah, so over the past 15 years, I think we've installed like 92,000 new distribution structures that are avian safe. So really, we have a twofold approach, and what it is we we have the ability to retrofit an existing structure with plastic guards. But then looking forward, what we did 15 years ago was we said, well, how do we get away from retrofitting? So we developed these avian safe standards that, when we're out building a new distribution circuit, then it will meet that 60-inch requirement. So the birds with the 5-foot wingspan, they can't touch both phases.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This is really fascinating. And just to go back, I love the subject matter experts on this too. And I think that is that a critical part when it comes to developing measures like this, or do they have any role when it comes to, just how you guys, design, or how you guys look for new products or new devices to put out there?
Yeah, for sure. So what we do is we partner with some EEI sister utilities, and there's actually an avian protection group. So we'll come together in these meetings, and obviously I think, when we started this, California was a little farther ahead of the curve. Mm-hmm. I think right now, we're right there with them on this avian protection stuff.
Where do you see it going? From here, do you see more developments quickly? Just off the top of my head, because this is actually really, really fascinating to me. Do you see you guys kind of evolving this at a quicker pace than initially thought?
I don't think I think the involvement's already there, because basically what it is we have the standards in place now. So if the guys show up at the riverfront here at Alton and they got to put up a new pole, it's going to be avian safe.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've developed these standards over the last 15 years that says, basically these are avian safe structures.
This is really fascinating. Can we take a quick pause in here and come back and let's pay a quick bill?
Yep.
Let's do it. Hey, at 9:36, we'll come back with Brian and Kyle and learn a little bit more about this. This is very fascinating on avian safety. More Daily Show next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Plenty of car dealers, plenty of options for people to choose from. What's your formula for success, right?
Number one, you got to have a good bank, you got to have a good team, and you got to have loyal customers. It takes all three of those in order to make something work.
In a town like the size of ours, a good relationship with our customers is very important. You want them to know this is a place to come, just like you guys want people to know Carrollton Bank's a place to come.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Libby Coots. Libby was a math major who graduated from Lewis and Clark in 2010. She's a math teacher and the girls golf coach at Edwardsville High School. She even has her LC diploma in her classroom and always tells her students how life-changing Lewis and Clark was for her.
I'm Libby Coots, and I'm a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wertz, president of Wertz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wertz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency.
Hey me, what you wanna do?
You guys never thought we were getting out of that commercial break, did you? We did. Back with Ameren Illinois, back with Brian, back with Kyle, and it's really just fascinating to learn more about this program. And you know, like you said during the break, Brian, it's especially this time of year because we're getting ready to have the Eagle Ice Festival in a couple of months. The Ball Eagles are coming, and you know, with the wingspan, that's really fascinating because you guys said how long of a wingspan do they normally have?
It's under 60.
And that's why you guys...
Under 60 inches, 5 foot, yeah.
And that's why you guys have them measured that way.
Yeah, so we space all of our conductors out so there's at least a 60-inch clearance between two of them because you don't want to get, if the wings would get across two different phases, that would cause an electrocution.
Absolutely. And we were talking about proactive measures and a little bit of the topic before we took a break, and it leads me into these new conversations about flight diverters, and I'm excited to talk about these. What are these?
So flight diverters, the way I'd like to relate them to what the public would really look at is, when you get near an airport, you see these great big balls on the power lines. Mm-hmm. Well, those are so the airplanes can recognize there's a power line there. Okay. So basically we're doing the same thing with birds. We have these nice little, they're really reflective. The birds can see them from a long ways away, like your blue herons and your pelicans. And we have in the past, they'll be flying along, and that top wire, what we call a static on a transmission line, it's fairly small in size. It's not going to be much bigger than my pinky, and they're flying along at a pretty good pace, and they don't see them, and they run into it, and it could kill them. So proactively, we went out and put on these flight diverters, and the different manufacturers make different ones. They all do the same thing. Uh-huh. They have a kind of like the yellowish white, really reflective color to them.
Okay.
And like I say, it's back to what I think that the public can relate to. We have the balls for airplanes, but these are for birds on a smaller scale, really.
And just to piggyback on that, so your viewers around here know exactly where the Sioux plant is across the river, mm-hmm. and so we have those flight diverters there, and it's greatly reduced the numbers of contacts with the power lines. So just to use another example, the birds that Kyle was describing, move quickly, but it also takes them forever to bank like a plane. So usually in the past, what would happen is by the time they would notice it, there was no way that they could, angle themselves in the air. But now, as Kyle described, with those flashing lights and that, they can see them in plenty of time, and we've reduced those incidents with those kinds of birds.
And you might hear the term also, we call them flight diverters, but I think, the first time that we kind of got into this, the word was used, swan diverters. But they're not only for swans, they're for other birds. So you might hear that term too, swan diverters, flight diverters, all basically the same thing. They're putting something that is visible on that small line so they can see it, so it diverts them from it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, too, I want to talk about how you guys do your responsible nest management. I'm sure that because I saw this topic on the sheet, and I'm like, this is fascinating because I'm sure having to work with various groups, on this too a little bit.
Yeah, so we've partnered with the Illinois or the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to help them mitigate some of this stuff. We've constructed nesting boxes for them. I know we've done that in in your state park type areas. We've done it at Banner Marsh, which is state park, Rice Lake,
Wren Lake,
Anderson Lake.
Wow.
We'll go out there and we'll partner with them. The best, and really the partnership is they're kind of telling us, this is what a nest looks like, and they build it. Where Ameren plays a vital role in this is we have the equipment to get that stuff up high. We have a bunch of bucket trucks and stuff like that. We've also partnered with the Illinois Rafter Center to relocate a nest near the high school or Carlisle High School. We worked with them to relocate that nest, so we weren't doing any harm to the nest.
That's really good to know too for individuals that want to know about the removal process. You guys are working in conjunction with these groups that do it the proper way.
Right, and so Kyle, touch upon too that not just a Joe average person, including our linemen, can necessarily go up and remove something. Talk about the process of how we have to be in partnership with the different agencies in order to move that osprey nest or other.
Yeah, and I think there's instances where yes, we need to. It's kind of like us going up and working on power lines. We are the expert on it. Our guys are highly trained on that. So, we will partner with those folks, and we will get them the proper safety gear and take them up in the double bucket with us so they can help us properly remove it. Obviously, we are not doing any of this around energized power lines. There are no safety risks. We're just providing the equipment, the safety, all that aspect to get them at that level that they need to be. And we also use some other aspects on that. If we have a nest somewhere like on top of a radio tower and we get called in, our own radio towers, our own microwave towers. A lot of times I'll use some of the guys from my team to take a drone and go fly it, see if it's an active nest, and then we'll work with the Fish and Wildlife, the IDNR, our internal environmental group, to make sure that nest has no more activity before we ever remove it.
That's really good to know too for everyone out there that's curious about that.
Yep.
Well, and what I think is fascinating too is because you guys have some pretty high risk areas when it comes to your the centers and just where some of this equipment is. Take me through how you guys put on some of these protective covers and just that process, because I'm sure the logistics of it have to be a little bit more detailed than one might think.
Yeah, so, as we talked earlier, moving forward, we're building everything avian safe. But it's not necessarily feasible to an area like where we're setting down on the riverfront to go and put all brand new poles in.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll look at those high risk areas where it's prone for eagle nesting, and we'll go and we'll retrofit them. And that's really what it is we put on a protective cover, either on the center phase or one of the phases of the structure. So if an eagle was to land on there and it had the wingspan to touch two conductors, it's now touching a protective cover and not two energized conductors. So like I said, sometimes it's not cost effective or feasible in these areas where there is a lot of activity to go replace all the poles. So that's why we had the retrofit.
Well, and just real quick for the audience, what's a phase when it comes to that structure?
So typically, and I'm probably talking too much in lineman's terms, but typically when you look up at a structure, there's generally 4 wires. So there'd be 3 up on the cross arm and 1 down lower. So there's 3 phases there up on the top cross arm, and then the neutral's down lower. So
Gotcha.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense, though. I just wanted to make sure and clarify because I was I'm not a lineman, man. I don't think I'm cut out for the. But when it comes to what I think is really cool is just the fact that you guys are big on workforce training too, and it's really good for, again, the public, I think, to note that, because your guys' work, even though you're our your energy company and everything else, the workforce training that goes a lot further than what you provide, and I think that's a really good note too.
So our biggest value at Ameren is safety. And so how did we incorporate that in? We incorporate it in everything we do every single day. So how do we incorporate avian? So we start at the bottom. So from the first day that the apprentice comes on property and is doing his training, it's incorporated in his training.
Wow.
When we do journeyman refresher training, it's incorporated in there. But also the incorporation of it is when our linemen go out to build a structure, they just flip open their standards book, and it's just built that way.
Yeah.
They don't even have to question of like, well, is it got enough spacing so it's avian safe? That's already done. We built that into the standard. So
that's wonderful.
Avian's really built into everything we do on the distribution subtransmission side.
I think it's great. I mean, I really do. I think it's a really important note for that. And when it comes to educating the next generation, I think that's the younger you start, it's always, the better results you get 9 times out of 10. What are you guys' thoughts on that, and what are you guys doing to educate that next gen?
One of the things we do is we're a proud sponsor of the Illinois Raptor Center, the Treehouse Wildlife Center, and the World Bird Sanctuary. These partnerships help us educate the younger folks, to what to look for. So that's one of the biggest things we're doing.
Well, and see, that's why I love that workforce training. We talk about those back to back, because it's really important to obviously educate your staff and everybody else, but also the knowledge that they could relay to everyone else that they come in contact with, and that shared knowledge too that they learn from some of these trainings. And just like with what you're doing with these great groups that are all vetted in wonderful organizations, it's really good to note that, hey, Ameren's here to educate not only the folks working for us, but also to make sure that we're keeping everyone as safe as we can be.
Yep. And so piggybacking on what Kyle just said in terms of the school presentations and some of that stuff that we do, we were just in the Alton area about a year ago at one of the local schools. So members of the Raptor Center are here. But what's great about it too is it's a great partnership. Not only do they talk about, they bring different birds of prey, maybe an owl, maybe an eagle, but then they also talk about our program as well. So they do talk to the young kids about staying away from power lines and et cetera. So it's an absolutely perfect partnership between us and some of these organizations that Kyle mentioned.
Well, and before we wrap up here, and I think it's really great for folks that are just tuning in for the first time, maybe doing Ameren, so we've done a ton of these when it comes to power safety and power line safety and education, and take a look at them because they're really good for you and your children to note. But as we're wrapping up here, when we come to avian protection, I got to note, before or after birds, what is the most pesky rodent animal that comes in contact with your all's equipment?
So it's either squirrels and probably raccoons. Second.
Raccoons?
Yeah. So we do a number of things for outage prevention on those. Like distribution transformers, just your typical one right out front of here. Now we install these squirrel guards so they can't get into the hot bushing.
Gotcha.
We also do what'll look to you guys like you'll see it up on our poles at about 20 foot. It looks like coil stock, like 2 foot of coil stock wrapped around the pole. That's actually a really slick plastic. So as the squirrel climbs up the pole, there's a 2 foot gap there that they can't get past that. So we install that type of stuff. We look at substations, you get a raccoon in there, a squirrel in there. We're not talking about an outage of, 2-3 people. It could be 1,000, 1,500. So we couple of things. We put these things on the wires that go into substation. We call them spinners. And basically just imagine a log in the water, and you're trying to stay on the log, and it's constantly rolling. That's what these do. It throws the squirrel off so they can't get in our substation. The other thing we do is we put up an animal fence inside of there. We have our external fence outside that's just chain link fence, but then internally might be 5 foot off there. We have an animal fence that'll, give them a little zap and tell them to please move on.
I like that. There you go.
And what I like best about that, in some of the areas where we have close to rivers and such, the fence also keeps snakes out. Believe it or not, we do have snake-related outages in substations.
That makes sense because they want somewhere dry to go, especially when it rains.
And warm.
Oh, yeah.
because all the equipment in the substation's warm.
Yeah, that makes sense. And now, with that being said, is there anything else that comes to mind when we're talking, just simple defenses of our power equipment when it comes to rodents or birds or anything like that, or do we cover it all?
I think we've covered it all. I think the last thing that I'd really like to say, if a member of the public happens to see a bird in our substation, whether it's by no means do we want you verifying whether it's dead or alive. That's up to us. We don't want you going in the substation, but if you see it from a distance, we would like you to report it to us so we can get the proper people out there. We talked about all of our partnerships with the IDNR, the World Bird Sanctuary. We know those people to get them there to respond. Just simply call it in to our 800 number at 800-755-5000.
Really cool. Brian, anything else for right now?
Nope. Well, I know that we'll be doing some of those school presentations a little bit later on in the fall, so hopefully we will have one in the greater Riverbend area. So some of your listeners and viewers, their kids or grandkids, will hopefully learn about avians and birds of prey in Ameren, Illinois.
And for admin out there that are watching today, what's the best way to get in contact to set something like that up if it hasn't been?
Just, again, use that 800 number, tell them what school you're representative, and they'll get to the right community liaison in a particular area, and just call 1-800-755-5000.
Really cool, Kyle. Thanks for stopping by today.
Yep, no problem.
Brian, nice to see you again.
Good to see you, CJ.
We'll take a quick break. 9:55, come back with the 10 o'clock hour. Lacy McDonald will go back 100 years ago, and then Jody joins us for Vintage Voices right after this on Riverbender and Roku.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Daily Show. Whew, that was quick. I was running out of music. 10:46. Elise, back in the studio. How did your Riverscapes go?
It went really well. I think all the entrants were very pleased with how it went. We had, I think, 9 people that entered. We had around 20-something paintings total.
Wonderful.
So it was a success. We definitely plan on doing it next year, and we have some plans in the works to expand it even further. So
wonderful. Congratulations on
it. Yeah.
With that being said, you're back because, well, exciting opportunity because you're sold out on one of the features of the Haunted Night at the Great Rivers Museum. But you guys have a really great day planned on October the 3rd. What time does this start?
So the event is going to run from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the evening. So that's after the museum is normally closed. This is going to be a fun after-hours event for Halloween at the museum. As you said, there is a little fun added feature that we're going to talk about a little bit more later that will start a little bit sooner.
Yeah, we'll come back in the second half and talk about that. On the first half of this, though, So this is really cool. It's a free, family-friendly evening at the National Great Rivers Museum. And take me through what folks can expect.
All right, so we've got lots of stuff planned for the night. We're going to have open tours of the lock and dam. So normally during normal museum hours, we have guided tours that go out at 10, 1, and 3 every day. But these are going to be open tours, so the people can come and go as they please up onto the dam. And we're going to have 2 different versions of the tour. So you're going to have your sunset tours from 6 to 7:30. And those are going to be your family-friendly tours. Just enjoy the sunset, being there after. Yeah, scare-free. Then at 7:30, the haunting begins. So from 7:30 to 9, we are going to have the spooky version. So we're going to have jump scares, special effects, stuff like that. It's going to be pretty scary. So
that's cool. So who's a part of the scare team? Is it like all of you guys?
So some of us, we've kind of roped in some of the lock workers over there at the dam. They tend to really enjoy this, or they did last year. That was the first year for our event, and they really liked doing the scares. So
that's cool. So you get to tour the Melvin Page and then have the scare experience as part of it.
Yes.
That's awesome. Now this is reserved very quickly, correct?
Well, so those tours are going to be open to everyone.
Gotcha. Okay, here's where we're coming along.
No reservations there.
So no worry about that.
Yeah, so the free open events for the night are going to be those tours. We've got a lot of stuff going on indoors as well. We're going to have some animal presentations from Treehouse Wildlife.
Cool.
We're going to have a screening in the movie theater of The Nightmare Before Christmas. So very, very spooky. Personally, I think that's more of a Christmas movie in my mind. But, you know, it's spooky. It's Halloween, too. We're going to have a costume contest. So if you've got little ones that have a great costume to show off, they can come compete for the best costume. Those costume the winners are going to be picked by our mascot, Bobber the Water Safety Dog. So
that's cool.
He's going to use his best judgment. We've also got...
What do you win?
You win a pumpkin. So last year we did it. The kids really liked it. Little pumpkins that are painted with, designs. And
that's
it says
cool.
First, second, or third on it.
That's awesome.
And then bragging rights, of course.
And now, is there any restrictions on costumes?
Keep it appropriate.
Fair.
That would be the only one that I would say. But if it's your kids, it should be appropriate anyway.
It's true. You just never know anymore. Free animal shows. What type of critters are coming out from Treehouse? Do we know yet?
We don't know yet.
Like snakes and stuff?
Well, stay tuned. I know last year, I believe we had their owl was there. They have a one-eyed owl that he's pretty cool. But I'm not sure who they're bringing this time around. But hopefully some spooky critters. We've got some other partners that are going to be coming out too. Going to have some tables set up there in the museum, so you can kind of trick or treat throughout the museum. Cool. Stop there. They should have some candy for you. Everything's free.
Tarot card readings?
Tarot cards are not. So
tarot.
There is everything.
Tarot? Have I been saying this wrong for
it's tarot.
God dang it.
Everything we provide is free, but we will have, for purchase, we will have the tarot card readings by Grey Witch Tarot. They're going to be there doing those. I believe they're $20, but I'll have to double check on that. So those do cost money. And then we will have Damn It Joe's Barbecue will be there as well, the barbecue truck. And of course, that's going to cost money as well. But they'll have some good food for you for the night. Yeah.
So I just think it's really cool because this is it's such a unique way to showcase the museum. And honestly, it's one of those things where I feel like even though we all know about you guys and we all go to the big events, there's still probably 50% of us that drive by every day or every other day and don't stop in and really see how great of a facility you guys have.
Yeah, we're kind of hidden by the levee, unfortunately, so you don't really see us too well. But yeah, we definitely encourage people to come out to these special events. But come by when we don't have an event too. Just normal museum hours. We've got tours of the lock and dam.
Has anyone successfully gotten that barge through?
The barge simulator. I have been told that there are kids who get it there through successfully. I don't know any adults that have.
I have
but the
never
kids
done
do.
it. Man,
Yeah.
I would not be good on that field. With that being said, whether or not you're going for the Sunset Dam tours, these are 6 to 7:30. It's scare-free, child-friendly. Then by 7:30 to 9 o'clock are when the scares await you in the Melvin Price, the trick-or-treat stations. What are some of the educational activities that are be a part of it?
So we've got several of our partners are coming out. We've got TNI, the Nature
cool,
Institute.
yeah.
They're going to be doing some bat-related things. We've got the St. Louis Herpetological Society, so they're going to have some snakes there for people to see. Audubon's going to come and do an activity. We've got NGREC is coming out. They're doing some nocturnal animal stuff. We've got the Alton Museum of History and Art. They're going to be doing some World War II history.
Wow.
So you've got your historical aspect as well. And then, of course, we've got the tarot reader as well. So lots of stations to stop by.
See, I'm always nervous about those card readings. You know, all I need is for like a hairspray can to pop up and fire.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah. Maybe you do, though. This is on October the 3rd, 6 to 9. It's a free family event. Those components of it are, except for the tarot card and barbecue.
Yeah.
We're going to come back, though, because there's something really cool that's provided with this, too. There's 10 more spots that are available
For a special tour. Yes.
And we'll tease you with that. It's 10:55, a little bit of change. Back with Elise next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 10:57. Elise is in the studio. Back with Night at the museum, and the cool part about this event really was these tunnel tours, correct? So these go under the river.
So we've got these special haunted tunnel tours we're going to be offering. They do take you kind of behind the scenes. So you have your normal tours that go in those publicly available areas that we always take our tours. But these are kind of specialized. We're going to be going down into the tunnels of Melvin Price Locks and Dam, which kind of go under the river down in the basement, creepy area.
That is so cool. Now, has this been available before to the public?
So we've kind of started introducing this at some of our events.
Okay.
But there are some restrictions with it. So because these are areas that the public is not allowed to go to normally, we do have more restrictions because we are a military facility.
Right.
So one of those restrictions is that, well, for one thing, you need to pre-register because we only have so many that we can take down into those spaces. But another big thing is you have to be a U.S. citizen and you have to be able to show proof of citizenship because this is a military facility and these are restricted areas.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
You know, it really does. And so now it's not ADA accessible too, correct?
It's not. So we're going to be down, going downstairs, tight areas, low lighting. So it's not ADA accessible. It's also got potentially some jump scares, some scary elements that may not be appropriate for some visitors.
Well, and that's good for folks that maybe have like a heart condition or things like that to note.
So just keep that in mind, that it might not be great for them. The other thing is we do allow kids on those tours, but that is with a caveat. The kids have to be able to walk by themselves the entire tour. They can't be carried, no strollers, no baby carriers, nothing like that.
Is that because of the tight spaces?
Yes, and it's for safety reasons. But we have some other restrictions for it. Got to have long pants, closed-toed shoes. Again, safety thing.
Yeah.
We also do not allow photography down there.
Makes
under
sense.
any circumstances. Cell phones have to stay in pockets. But we do provide free lockers in the museum, so you can put anything you've got, your bags, because we don't allow bags down there either. All that stuff goes in your locker for free, and then you go down on the tour. And then there's no restrooms down there either, so take a restroom break before you go. But we ask people arrive at 5 if they have signed up for those. Or I should say the registration for those is it's online. If you go to our Facebook page, National Great Rivers Museum Facebook page, there is a pinned post at the top of our page that has that registration link. Currently, these tours are sold out.
Right here, and then the link is voila, and it takes you right over
there where it says sold out. But at noon today, or around then, we are going to be opening those tours to 10 more people. 10 more slots are going to be available, so be by your computers around noon if you are interested in going on those tours. You heard it here first. So we will be opening it to 10 more people.
And how much is that?
They are free.
Oh.
Yes. So these are free tours.
Wow, that's incredible.
The reason you have to pre-register is because we have all these
requirements and restrictions. Yeah.
So for the citizenship, you do have to bring proof of citizenship when you come to the museum.
Is that like a driver's license? Or?
Driver's license does not count.
Oh, okay.
So
wow.
that is something to keep in mind. You can bring a passport. You can bring your birth certificate. There's some other things, consular report of birth abroad, certificate of naturalization, certificate of citizenship. All of this is available on that sign up page. You can see what you need to bring. But if you do not bring that documentation, we cannot let you go on the tour.
And it makes sense. And the reason being is you guys have, I'm sure, not confidential, but closed off and not open to the public access to these things because there's technology down there and there's some other facets and operations of what you guys do. And it's a military facility. But if someone registered for an event like this in the past and has already provided that, is there a save form like where they've already, so they have to provide it again,
Need
correct?
to bring it again.
Okay, just want to make sure for anybody that said, well, I had this last year, why have, I just assumed I was good.
Yes, and these tours, they're 90 minutes.
Okay.
That one. And
it's a long one.
It is a long one, but it starts at 5:30, but everyone needs to be at the museum at 5. That's because we got to show citizenship. We're going to make sure everybody's there, and then we have a safety briefing we have to give before we go on that tour.
And now, is it everybody at once on this tour, or will you be broken up after that in groups?
It'll be everybody at once.
Okay, that's good to know for timing.
Yes, but if you get there past 5:30, past 5:25, really, you're not going.
That's fair. No, and it's good to know. You have to be that strict with this.
You gotta meet the requirements. Gotta have the safety talk. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be the jerk. There's a waiting list already. If you were the person that shows up at 5:25 when somebody else wanted to be there, would have been there an hour before, I will find you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Elise, what else do we need to talk about for now?
I think that's about it. Oh, one thing I forgot. We will have bonfires outside too.
Oh, that's
another
cool.
thing I forgot.
Are you going to do your s'more stations?
Yes, campfires with s'mores. So you can get your sugar rush. In addition to all the candy you're going to get indoors, you get s'mores too.
That was slick. That rhymed and everything. I should have played the music and wrapped up. Thanks, Elise. We'll see you tomorrow. I will anyway. I thought today was Thursday, so it's a pretty depressing day for me. Tomorrow is Thursday, though. I don't know what that means for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sorry, I'm running behind. Lacy is not Ameren, Illinois. They know who you are by now.
Just known.
You are known. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, CJ?
Living the dream, Lacy.
All right. What kind of dream?
Lucid. What'd you write about?
I wrote about the Illinois Humane Society doing their annual conference in Alton, which happened in September of 1925. Their annual convention.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and see, what I think is so fascinating, and this is, I guess, my biggest wish, and I guess I'll break the fourth wall. If I were to ever run for mayor, what I would do to break, just how great Alton, was just a great meeting spot. And I know things change with geography, and but we still have some such cool things, and we have some cool conferences still.
Yeah.
To have more of those would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm not taking donations, by the way.
Part of the reason that I think it was held in Alton, is that Angie Rand Schweppe was the Alton Humane Society president, and she was very, very involved. We've talked about her before.
She was on Vintage Voices.
She was on Vintage Voices. Yes, she was on Vintage Voices. At that. Yeah, I know. I was kind of excited that all
remembered.
tied in.
Look at that. Wow.
And, right. So I've written about her. She's on Vintage Voices. I'm a big fan of Angie Rand Schweppe. She's buried in Alton Cemetery. So she set this up, and she, from everything I understand, she was on top of things. She was a go-getter. She was really a very, very impressive person. Mm-hmm. And between her and Sophia DeMuth, who was the police matron, who has also been in Vintage Voices a couple years ago before I was involved, and was officially the county probation officer at this time. They always talk about how Angie Rand Schweppe took care of the animals of Alton and Sophia DeMuth took care of the children. So the Humane Society in that time period was actually taking care of both animals and neglected and abused children. So it was like an overarching.
Wow.
I know. And it was really interesting. I learned this in my research, but apparently the Illinois Humane Society started in 1869. The Alton branch of that started in 1889. So, 45 years before this conference.
Wow.
And so 1869 is when they started to provide protective services for abused animals. And a big part of that was that the Union stockyards in Chicago were just so horrific. And so that's kind of what led to this. But then, since there wasn't an agency responsible for child welfare, in 1879, so 10 years later, the Illinois Humane Society extended its protective services to neglected, abused, and abandoned children. And they were successful in securing child welfare legislation and then the establishment of the first juvenile court in Chicago. So they had sort of this overarching taking care of the vulnerable in communities in Illinois. So
I love it.
Really, really cool to see that happening in Alton. So they had whole bunch of people come down from all over Illinois and then some in Missouri. And the morning had meetings where they were discussing problems connected to humane work, like workshops basically. And then there was an automobile ride from 4 to 6 so that no, this is what you have to do if you are bringing like conferences here, because it was to see the beauty spots of Alton for the people that didn't live here, to show off our town.
That makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was like a $2 a ride thing.
No. It was like a special event. And so they there was an ad that Angie Rand Schweppe put in the newspaper, like, if you have an automobile and you'd be willing to, be a chauffeur on this, please let me know, because they were going to have like a little tour. So it sounded really
reminds
fun.
me. I mean, why do we have to pay to go into like these pumpkin and apple farms? Have you noticed this lately?
Well, you don't have to pay to go to all of them.
Not
you just
all
have
of them,
to pay when you
but some of them. Have you noticed that some, like, there's a few around here that I'm like, wait, I got to pay admission to then go pay for the other thing. And I get there's activities there, but I mean, I ain't going to go ride the cow train.
Okay, well, I'm not sure, because I feel like some of them...
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had totally worth the price. If it comes with, like, the things. But it's like, I just noticed that lately. Like, there's one we went to Greenfields Farm. They were awesome. It was free to get in. It was free admission.
Yeah.
Like, there are, like you said, some that do that, a lot of them. But then I looked online, and there's some that's like $6 to get in, or $10, and I'm like, whoa!
Is it to get in, or is it to do, like, the children's activities?
For admission.
Really?
Admission.
Okay.
I disagree.
So do your research before you
disagree with admission charges.
Choose your pumpkin farm.
Like, I just want to say, they do it right up there. It was so much fun.
Good.
We had a great time.
Good.
I just thought about that. I'm like, I was looking. I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, we gotta pay just to walk. There's like 8,000. Well, there's others. I don't know. Sorry. Back to Lacy.
So
back to this article.
This
had nothing
automobile
to do.
tour was free for participants.
The reason I thought about this is because there was one I saw where it was like, it came with activities and you still had to pay for the barrel rides. And I'm like, whoa, well, hold on here. So you got to pay to get it. You got to pay additional for some of this.
Yeah.
This is like Disney World.
Right. You know what, though? Okay, we don't need to get into this, but Disney World actually... Once you're in, like, you have to pay for stuff, but you don't have to, like, pay extra for, like, the fast ride. I appreciate that. Like, if you can plan it, then it's easier. Because there's some where you have to pay extra to, like, get in the short line.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Well, and, too, I don't know if you saw this. Cruises are getting pretty cheap now. I saw it.
Cruises?
Yeah, I saw on it. $349 for a 5-day Bahamas cruise, all inclusive at the Royal Caribbean.
That is a really good price, but I am far too anxious of a person.
See, that's how I am. Like, I feel like I'll have fun until I don't. And then when I don't have fun, the thousands on that board, ship, whatever you call it, they are not going to have fun either.
No.
I'll be on their local news feed.
I would do like a river cruise, like if I can still see the sides of the land. I feel like that would be okay.
That's true.
Because I get anxious when I feel like I don't have an escape route in any situation.
Yeah, you pretty much don't on one of those.
No, I don't like that.
Have you seen that documentary on Netflix?
No, I read about it and I watched the preview, but I did not see
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, that's probably why the ticket price plummeted.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the article. Sorry, my fault.
So they did this automobile ride, and then they had an evening with lectures and music, and the whole community was invited to that. Teachers specifically were invited, and because it said many interesting facts will be brought forth by the speakers, which will be helpful to the teachers in their work with the child, because all this child welfare stuff. So the mayor, the Alton mayor, George T. Davis, delivered the welcome address. J.J. Brenholt, who was the original president of the Alton Humane Society in 1889, delivered a lecture titled The Early Days of the Humane Society in Alton. And I went back and found the ads for when they were just first forming, the articles when they were first forming the Humane Society in Alton, which was cool. And Sophia DeMuth, who I mentioned, spoke about the work of the Alton Society, so what they were doing here. And there were some other, I didn't include all of them, but there were some other talks. There was one on the killing of animals by automobiles and how to prevent it, because this is obviously a new problem that they were dealing with.
Yeah.
The former dean of the Chicago Veterinary College talked about rabies in animals, because it was something that they were having to deal with. The former rector of St. Paul's Episcopal Church spoke on the art of being kind. And as I said, there were there were musical numbers, so piano, voice, interspersed through the talks. But it was well attended and kind of a cool thing. It was just a one-day conference, but there was a lot leading up to it, and clearly a lot of work went into it with the
That's really
organizers.
I just think it's so cool that they had such success with this, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they did a really good job of getting people to care about the welfare of
and back
animals
then that
and
wasn't really
children.
that was probably a nuanced thing.
I think that, I mean, the Illinois Humane Society was formed in 1869. But when it was first formed, like I said, it was due to the stockyards and a lot of what people were worried about for animal welfare and veterinary science. I didn't even think about this, was horses.
Oh, yeah.
And so it wasn't until later, until the automobiles really became the major way we were getting around, where like veterinarians were focused on small household pets instead of horses or other like stockyard animals. So really interesting. And that part of why I included a biography, there was a little section at the end talking about the Illinois Humane Society history, is because I went on kind of a deep dive after that. I looked up the guy who was working who'd been the dean of the veterinary school. And so that's where I learned some more about the history of veterinary science and all that. But yeah, it started as just like, oh, I'm going to talk about the lectures that they did. And then by the end, I was like, oh my gosh, I know so many things. Yeah.
This is really cool. And I'm going to take a break.
Yes.
Let's do it. Coming back with Lacy. And Lacy will be here until, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. After this.
In the works welding and tank service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college, and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Show. Still 2 more chances. Welcome back with Lacy. So, did this group come back?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like to
The
do
big one?
the
Yeah.
convention again? That's a good question. I don't know. And I also don't know if this was the first time that they did it in Alton. Maybe. I feel like it's very likely that they did, but who knows?
I think it's just really fascinating. I just love the work they did. And now, was this just kind of a litany of kind of just the accolades that Ann had? Schweppy? Like with
Angie?
Angie would bring in stuff like this in?
This is the kind of thing she did. She was like on the ground doing the work too. There was an article when we were researching her for Vintage Voices. There was an article where she had, I don't remember exactly how serious it was. I don't think she took someone to court, but she reported that a science teacher had, euthanized a cat to do a dissection in a class.
Oh.
And it was not a humane, I mean, he may have euthanized it in a way that was painless. I don't know. But the point was he did not follow guidelines of, proper uncruel treatment
Gotcha.
to animals
Okay.
through this. I don't know exactly what all the laws were, but I remember there was a whole thing in the article. There was a whole thing in the paper, a whole article about it, that she had brought forth this, accusation that he was not treating animals appropriately. And then he was saying, the cat was not long for this world. And it was, a science, like to demonstrate science, to teach the students. And so it was kind of a back and forth. I agreed with her that I didn't think that you can just, make that
that's
decision yourself. But
yikes.
But yeah, it's kind of like the idea that we're still talking about, like, what is, in the name of learning, what's appropriate, what's appropriate, what's moral, what you have to look at benefits and who is being affected by any decision you make like that.
Well, it makes sense. And I think it's a really important note, though, when people talk about that, because, it's just good to note the advocacy outside of just the accolades, too.
Yes. Yeah. She got the accolades because she was working.
Right.
She was out there in the community. Same with Sophia DeMuth. They were going to people's houses to help with their kids. They were going to,
Gotcha.
Like they weren't just sending other people, or they weren't just like in charge and weren't, on the ground themselves. They were out there doing the work.
That's really fascinating. Yeah. Well, Lacy, we have an interview coming up with Vintage Voices.
Do.
Preview that for me.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to talk about... That's not my job. No, we're going to talk about Vintage Voices because it starts this weekend.
It's a really cool thing.
And yeah, and that works perfectly since I just talked about Angie Ranchweppy, who was in Vintage Voices several years ago, and Sophia DeMuth, who was in Vintage Voices years and years ago. And then my article this week is actually going to feature somebody, not as the main person, she's just a side character in my next article, but who's going to be in this Vintage Voices. So I'll mention that when we talk about some of the people that are going to be portrayed.
Very fascinating. We'll do this. We'll take a quick break, come back, talk Vintage Voices with Lacy and Co. right after this. RiverBender, Roku TV. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Plenty of car dealers, plenty of options for people to choose from. What's your formula for success, right?
Number one, you got to have a good bank, you have a good team, and you got to have loyal customers. It takes all three of those in order to make something work.
In a town like the size of ours, a good relationship with our customers is very important. You want them to know this is a place to come, just like you guys want people to know Carolyn Bank's a place to come.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Libby Coops. Libby was a math major who graduated from Lewis and Clark in 2010. She's a math teacher and the girls golf coach at Edwardsville High School. She even has her LC diploma in her classroom and always tells her students how life-changing Lewis and Clark was for her.
I'm Libby Coops, and I'm a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it.
This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
Welcome back, Daily Show, on a Wednesday, because Lacy's here. Lacy, how are you doing? Diana, how are you?
Thank you. Yeah. It's good to be here.
Well, and it's really exciting to talk about Vintage Voices. You guys do some really great work, and it's great to know that we're right already around the corner again. It's this weekend.
It is this weekend. It is Saturday.
Where do we start?
Well, we started last April, didn't we?
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
We started last April. We've been working months and months and months, a steering committee. Lacy's on the steering committee. I'm happy to be on it. But where do we start? Well, we hope everybody will come out. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend. We've been so fortunate for 24 years with the weather.
Uh-huh.
So I think we had rain once, and it's missed it a couple of times. That's not a bad record.
Not especially at this time of the year.
No.
You know? Well, and what's Vintage Voices, Diana, mean to you? You know, take me through just the pride that you have in the group.
Well, our mission is to keep history alive, and that's one thing it means to me. I have a background in theater and in education, and so Vintage Voices has all of that, education in terms of history, all the elements of theater. We have actors, we have costumes, sometimes we have props, we have a setting. Yeah, all of that. An audience, reviews sometimes. And I often say the other thing that I take great pleasure in as being part of this wonderful event is when people leave the cemetery after being guided through our usually 8 or 9 stops. They say very often, I have lived in the Alton area all my life, and I didn't know that, whatever that was that they found out from our decedents.
Well, and see, I think that's what's fascinating, too, about our area. We were having this conversation, I had one earlier today, just about, I was in a place called Georgetown, Texas, and it was wonderful. It was a beautiful town. Kind of like Carlinville had the square in Carrollton, how it's all kind of set up. But it always bothers me with the, it's historic, and I think it's great to have pride. But when I always think of that, I always kind of look at it with a little bit of a different look, because I come from Alton, and we come from one of the most literally historic areas in the country. And I don't really think my generation especially knows that, and just how powerful this area used to, and the people that came out of it and still do.
Yes, there are hundreds of stories in that cemetery. 24 years ago, we were told by Don Huber, who is one of the local historians. He said, starting this project, we could identify 8 to 10 decedents every year forever and never have to duplicate. Now, I don't know what forever means, but we've gone 24 years. I think we've duplicated twice by choice. Because it was an anniversary.
Yeah.
Like Eunice Smith, for instance.
Makes sense.
But, and sometimes we have multiple stories from the same family, the Hayner family, but from different points of view, or Pfeifenberger, or others. Yeah,
this is so fascinating, and honestly, this year is no different to the litany of really cool people we're going to be learning about.
Oh yes. Lacy, have you been through our list of decedents with?
Oh,
CJ?
not on here. No,
we were waiting. We're taking people back to whenever we were doing the Humane Society.
I only talked about previous years.
Previous years.
Oh, okay. We have some really interesting stories. One of the stories that I found very fascinating is from a woman named Dorothy Scott. Dorothy Scott is not buried here in our cemetery in Alton. She is a veteran, so she's at Jefferson Barracks. Her parents are buried here, however. She was part of the 6888 battalion of black women, Negro women, as it was called in World War II, who were sent overseas to sort out the postal mess that was jammed up in World War II.
Wow.
Thousands and thousands of pieces in warehouses of mail packages that just sat there. And so this battalion of women, and she was one of them, was sent to sort it out, and they did. And there's a movie. There's a cool movie on Netflix you can see. It's called The 6888.
Wow, I'll have to check that out.
And so she's in uniform. She'll be telling her story.
Cool. This is fantastic.
That's one of them. Yeah, just one.
Well, who else?
We have a young man named Kerry Maples. I'm sorry, Waples. I always want to say Maple. Kerry Waples, who was a young lieutenant in World War I. And this is one of the things I didn't know. In East Alton, Illinois, there was a farm, the Bowman family farm, that served as a way station, I'm going to call it, for the war horses.
Wow.
That came from all over the country. They were shipped here on railroads, and they were at the Bowman farm in East Alton, hundreds of thousands of them, and made ready to then be shipped over to Germany, France, Italy, wherever they were needed. And they were the major means of transportation. And this young man worked there, and he tragically was killed in an airplane accident when he was 23 years old. But he'll be in uniform. He'll tell the full story about the horses. There was a famous movie called War Horses. Mm-hmm. And he's part of that story, and he's buried right there in the mausoleum.
This is so. Again, it goes back to that though, just the fascination of it, and just how incredible our history is, and not just in our Alton Cemetery, or relative within there. And I think that's such an important point to make too. Is, I mean, you don't have to go very far to see the impact that Alton had nationwide and internationally in so many different things.
That's right, politics and culture and music and every phase of life.
I think that you guys do a really good job too I like the meeting the decedents.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really cool function of the Vintage Voices Facebook page, and we're going to take you there now. You guys can go check that out. Let me zoom in because my eyes are not good. I'm like a Honda Civic. I got a lot of city miles on me for being young. You can meet some of the descendants that are going to be portrayed as well, and you can follow along there. But there's Carrie Waples we were just talking about. And, fill me in real quick on Jenny and Alice Quigley.
I don't know that much about them. I know they were twins.
Mm-hmm.
I know they were inseparable. They lived their whole lives together in one home. I think they died within just days of each other, years of
months.
each other.
It was
months
the same
of each
year.
other.
Yeah. So they weren't separated until the year that one of them died, and then the other one died later that same year.
Very fascinating.
So they'll have very interesting stories to tell.
And they traveled all over the world too.
And they were world travel in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and then this one's going to be cool is Bertha Yaxel. Did I say that right?
Yes, that's right.
And she was a leader in retail fashion at the time. And
she
this
was
is really cool. Mm-hmm. So, and what I saw that I found fascinating is the head of this ready-to-wear department at Gates Clark Dry Goods. And it's just fascinating, too, to kind of get her take, I guess, really on the fashion industry at the time, and then probably convincing folks to kind of jump on the trend,
Oh, yeah.
And her legacy is that she left a great deal of money to various organizations.
Really?
And it was just a year ago that this trust fund ran out.
Wow.
I know the church that I attended got a check from the Yaxel Foundation every year. And now her husband also had one, a separate one. And I'm not sure, but I think there are like several hundred organizations in the area that still get money from the Yaxel Foundations.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a moment to take a quick break? Mm-hmm. We'll come back. I got to pay a bill, and we'll learn all more details about Vintage Voices and some of the decedents and ways that you can get your tickets, be a part of the event, and all that good stuff. A quick break. We're back here after this one.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
They probably won't ask the decedents if, why someone drank or smoked, but maybe ask some of the relatives and some of the descendants of these decedents some of the great things that they contributed to Alton. Family traditions, right? Come on, Lacy. Throw me a bone here. It's 10:47.
We normally don't portray people that have relatives that knew them. It has happened every once in a while. A couple years ago, there was a woman who was portrayed whose, I think, grandson or great-grandson came through and saw it and called me, which was a terrifying phone call.
Oh, I bet.
Until I realized that he was excited and he'd really enjoyed it. And then it was one of the best phone calls I've ever gotten.
That kind of why we stick away from doing some of those?
We don't know what kind of mannerisms. We don't know what somebody actually necessarily what they looked like or what they would have said
Gotcha.
specifically. So it's better if it's a little bit in the distance. Like when we did Angie Ran Schweppe last year, or the year before last, I asked her descendant, Janet Schweppe, who worked at the library, has died in the meantime, but asked her if it would be okay for us to do Angie Ran Schweppe, and she loved the idea. So normally I think people are excited about it, but we do try to have a little bit of a
gap.
distance in time.
We, several years ago when we did two members of the Tuskegee Airmen who were from Bethalto, I'm thinking, was it but I can't remember where they were from.
Yeah, I'd have to
I know they graduated from Alton High School. Anyway, they had relatives still in the area. And they were very proud, of course, of what we were doing and how we were honoring them and telling their stories. And buried right there in the city cemetery.
Just incredible. And I think it's really cool when you're able to do those things, and the pride that those families feel, it's got to be astronomical, too, and it's just a great addition to it. That takes us to you. I'm breaking the fourth wall. You got to get tickets, okay? How do we get tickets?
Mainly, people who attend just come to the gate.
Okay.
They're on Vine Street, queue up, and buy their tickets. We do have a ticket leap online function. And then for the non-walking tour, same thing. We could do a ticket leap. You could buy them. Actually, you can get them from, I guess, committee members if you know them or decedents.
Right.
But normally it is just show up and buy a ticket.
You can see it on the screen there. That is the ticket leap link. Wow, say that one 5 times fast. And we're going to link that into an article on Riverbender as well. But you see that tickets start at 11:55 online, right? 11:55 online, is that what that says? Starts at 11:50.
It starts at, yes.
Okay.
The quote, the gates open. Our first tour is at noon.
Okay.
But people get there often at, I don't know, what's 11:55.
Oh, okay.
I have
No, I
idea.
get what they're doing. They're adding
what
the
are they
service
doing?
fee on the
Oh,
website.
I see.
That's
Is
what
that
makes
it?
sense. Yeah.
All right. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tickets are $15, but there is
Yes.
a $1.30 service fee. That's because fees get expensive, folks.
Yeah.
Those credit
Yeah.
card processing
Yeah.
fees. So it's $16.30 at checkout, but you can go get them at the gate for $15.
You can.
Yeah,
and what happens when you come to the gate and you get buy a ticket, then you're given a colored ticket. Let's say you're red, and all the red tickets then sit and wait until we have about 15 to 17 people. Then a guide will take all the red tickets.
Gotcha.
Give them a little introduction, a little do's and don'ts, and then they start the route, which takes about an hour, maybe an hour or 10. From stop to stop.
And now for the non-walking portion, where is that going to take place?
That's at the St. Matthew's Parish School. That used to be the old St. Mary's School on Milton Road.
Oh, is that the middle school now?
Yeah, middle
Okay.
school. And that will be at 5 o'clock this Sunday. Again, tickets also at the door, same price. And last year we had a little over 100 people there.
Wow.
So, yes, we did.
That's fantastic.
Yes, we did. And they have a little raised platform area, and we're mic'd. And all the decedents come in and they sit in a tableau, and I introduce them. So it's sort of like being at the cemetery, only not. And each one then comes forward, tells their story, and is seated, and then the next one,
Wonderful.
and so on.
Well, has there ever been an opportunity where you guys do this for the schools?
Yes, we used to do this. We went to Marquette several years. We went to Alton High School several years. And we've tried to partner with the schools, but it's very difficult anymore. I guess I used to teach in the public school, so I know that field trips, for instance, are difficult. And even if we would have an opportunity to have a large group of students from the area come in, then many of our actors, decedents, work during the day.
Gotcha.
So,
I see the disconnect there. Yeah.
We would love to have a large educational program. But we do encourage kids to come out, students to come out with their parents or on their own, take the tour, learn something, maybe get extra credit in their history classes. That would be wonderful.
Well, that's again where you come in. I'm breaking it again. I'm looking right into your soul. You got to get out there. And honestly, it really is cool. The thing that always sticks out to me is I always loved the area and always thought, it was great to be here. We had great people. But whenever I learned about Lyman Trumbull in history class, and I'm like, hell, I drove by this guy's house every day going to Duke Bakery, and doing all these things. And then it opens up the floodgates to wow, this area is cool. You know, it's fun. We got to live here, and hopefully it gets more kids excited to stay right here and realize we got everything we need. We got history, we got business, and then we got the young people hopefully after that too.
Hopefully.
I think it's exciting too, because when you're looking at people's lives to this degree, you see how one person can make a difference. Like that's one of the biggest parts for me, is seeing the work that somebody puts in, and then how that affected the area, and then a lot of times how it is still affecting us now, because you get to see, you know, this trust that went on for 60 years after she died. She had no idea when she was putting it together that would be benefiting us now. And so, you know, you can start to feel like, does what I do matter? And then you get to see it matter in all these people's lives.
Yeah, like what happens when the lights go out today? You know, if they went out today, what happens tomorrow? And that's a really cool note about that too, the legacy that we individuals do have that make that impact.
And some of these stories, they're not all, quote, famous people or people that made a public big difference. Some of them are very small stories, very personal stories.
Those are the cooler ones to me.
Yes, and you know, how they struggled and how they lost their children. We've had children who've drowned, families who were devastated, people who had been enslaved and were on the trying to escape. And so we have all
a litany,
walks of life. Yes,
this is incredible.
Who walk again.
Exactly. And with that being said, this was 24 years, 25?
This will be our 24th year.
So what's next year looking like? Because that's a big anniversary.
I know.
We will be having meetings about that. I'm sure we're going to have something special. I don't know what it is yet. Neither do you.
I have no idea.
But it will be special.
It should be. It really should be. This has been a great addition to the region, too. And not just for Alton, but just for the entire community and really the entire Metro East to come and be a part of this and witness in some way, shape, or form. Thank you all for stopping by today.
Thank you.
Lacey, you pulled a marathon. Diana, nice to meet you.
Nice to be here.
We'll take a quick break, and I'll come back and wrap up the Wednesday morning. That was right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, Daily Show. It's a Wednesday. Good show. Happy with that one. Hope you guys were too. With that being said, probably one thing to fill you in on, if I even have the time. Yeah, I'm getting loud. Why not? Let's see. Let us see. Here we go. Let me give you your Play It Again Sports Roundup. For Monday, we'll have Tuesdays out shortly. For Monday, September the 29th, your Play It Again Sports Roundup. Here you go. Alton beat Granite City in boys soccer 2-1. Blake Rinsing and Max Reedy scored the goals to give Alton 3 points over Granite City at Gene Baker Field. Hunter Baran recorded the winning goal. Redbirds are now 6-8 on the year, while the Warriors go to 2-11-0. In other matches played Monday, Belleville Althoff Catholic won over Belleville East 4-0. Trenton Westland defeated Valmeyer 10-0. Waterloo won its derby game over Waterloo Jabot Catholic 4-0. Belleville West won at home against CM 4-0. And Columbia won at Highland 5-1. In girls volleyball, Father McGivney won on the road at Marissa Coulterville. McGivney's now 15-9-2, and the Meteors go to 14-4. In field hockey, Edwardsville beat Parkway Central. And that's a look at your prep roundup. And that's a look at our Wednesday. I'm out of time. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy it. Might as well. It's going to be a little warmer out there, but that doesn't bother nobody. Enjoy the day. See where it takes you. Until we talk again, just try your best as always to stay out of jail.